the meaning of story, but Tosin's story. Tosin's story is about a young, ambitious lady who was confident and stood for what was right. She was good at her career as a journalist and ensured that everyone around her was safe. Tosin was a young journalist. She worked hard in university to pass her exams and got good grades. Tosin now had a job with Action News, the biggest newspaper. Her parents were so proud of her. Action News paid their staffs on time and had journalists from the best universities working with them. Tosin loved to speak for others. Tosin did not like people being treated badly. She wrote stories that showed the people's struggle and what they faced. On her way to work, she stopped by the roadside to chat with Madam Jane, the Akara seller. Tosin listened to all Madam Jane's problems and even took notes for possible stories. Speaking to people on the street made Tosin very happy. Tosin's job at Action News was to write stories about the legislators. She wrote stories about their lifestyles and the work they did, but Tosin did not like this task. She found writing about their lifestyle boring. Tosin wanted to be an investigative journalist that would expose corruption. She wanted to write more about the suffering of poor people in her community. She wanted to write about things that could help people. One day, a senator invited some journalists for a press conference in his office. He loved money so much, both for himself and to give out to people. Everywhere he went, there was so much money. People gave him the nickname, the money machine. The senator wanted to tell the journalists about the work he planned to do for the community. He gave them food and drinks. At the end of the conference, he gave them each a fat brown envelope filled with money. Tosin turned to her colleague Idem. Did you get a big envelope with money too? Idem nodded. Yes, I did. Tosin looked confused. What is the money for? I do not understand why we have to be given money. We are well paid, Idem smiled. You know, giving extra money does not hurt. Tosin looked unsure. It is too much money. There must be a reason for giving us this much money. Tosin turned to Hadiza, her friend and colleague. Hadiza, did you receive any money? Hadiza laughed. Yes, so I like coming to Senator Money Machine's house. He gives us the best gift and money. That's why he's called Money Machine. The money poured out of him. Tosin decided to keep the money since everyone was doing it. She took her money home. One day, Tosin was in her office and received a text message. It was about a building that had fallen down and killed many people. Tosin rushed to the place where the building fell. Tosin wanted to write a story on it. Many buildings had fallen down recently and there was no response from the government. Many of the victims were poor people. As she was leaving the site, she saw Madam Jane, the Akara seller, crying. She had lost her sister and a nephew in the building that had just fallen. I saw them yesterday evening. What a wicked world, she cried. Tosin was sad. She gave Madam Jane a hug and tried to comfort her. Madam Jane continued to cry and said, I am also scared of living in my apartment. The same people built it. Tosin promised her that nothing will happen to her. Tosin said, I need to understand why these buildings are falling. We need to stop many people from dying. Tosin began to find out why the buildings were falling. She met a whistleblower from the proper job building company. He told her that the company was not using the right quality materials. They were paying enough money to build these houses with good quality materials, but they did not want to spend the money. They wanted to keep more for themselves. This was the reason why the buildings were falling down. Proper Job Building Company had won many jobs from the government to build homes for poor people across the country. Sadly, there were many other buildings built by them that were not good. These buildings might also fall down very soon. More families could die. The company also paid bribes to the building inspectors whenever they went to the site. This is why they had not been caught. Tosin was shocked with what the whistleblower had told her. She set to work writing her stories. One evening, Tosin worked late at the office. She was working hard to finish the story. By the time she reached her home, it was 11 p.m. She looked for the keys in her bag. They were not there. Tosin had forgotten her keys in the office. Not again, she said. This story is making me forget everything. Tosin took a taxi back to the office. Tosin picked up her keys from the desk and walked towards the door. She stopped when she saw her editor, Mr. Boniface, still in the office. His door was slightly open, and Tosin heard voices. She went closely to say hello, or saw that he was not alone. That looked like the manager of the proper job building company. She whispered to herself. The manager was giving Mr. Boniface a brown envelope. He collected it with a large smile on his face. Tosin was confused and said to herself, could that be money? Tosin was tired. She needed to go home and sleep. She yawned quietly and left the office. She did not think much of what she saw. Tosin was too tired and went to bed. As a lady, in the society we live today, many feel that you will not be heard. So these are not part of what a lady should do. But Tosin was confident enough to stand her ground and to make sure she got all the required information she needed to write her story. She also wanted to ask questions to know why certain things were being given, most especially for the brown envelopes. She really wouldn't understand after being paid so much as a staff and also being given a brown envelope because you attended an event. I know most of us must have experienced this through our jobs and the course of interacting with people.